I want to show you something that's pretty neat, what Kia has done on this vehicle anyway. Straight above this cutout is the oil filter. And I'll show you why a lot of wrenches won't work on this, but the socket styles excel. And your drain plug is right here. They've got all these neat cutouts. There's a drain plug. Okay, here's my collection of oil filter wrenches or sockets, whatever you want to call them. This is the only thing I had before I bought the proper socket wrench for the Kia Soul. I had to use this, and it was a bear to fight with that, and I'm going to show you why. And then in addition to this, I've got the two classics right here. This one come from Harbor Freight. I like it. It's actually adjustable there. That's pretty nice. This one is a KD. It's really nice too. But those are handy if the filter's out in the open. This Kia filter is not out in the open. It requires a special socket right here. And I'll show you why this fits like a glove on the filter. But let's go take a look at the struggles of a strap type wrench. Okay, this strap type wrench, you're going to have to get a 1/2-inch extension and ratchet on it. But it was a fight to get that on there, and it slips all the way around it. But I finally managed to get the factory oil filter off, and it was a struggle. Well, after that, I got online and ordered the proper wrench. And you can see, let me get it back out of here. You can see, I mean, these things have their place. All oil filter wrenches and sockets have their place. But you can see how tight it is up here. This application here was tailor-made for a nice oil filter socket that fits tight. Now let's go take a look at it. Okay, first I want to cover this. I bought these in a 6-pack on Amazon, and they did come with the washers. You want to make sure they come with them. Even though this washer is not a hollow washer, it's a flat washer, and can be used, if torqued to 33 to 35 foot-pounds, it can be used many times. But if it comes with them, I'm going to go ahead and use a new one. This filter, it is the latest recommended 26300-35505, made in Korea. It's a 15 flute filter. Where the discrepancy comes in is some people have a hard time measuring it because of the odd number of flutes. 15, you can't go flat to flat and get a good measurement. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, let's go to millimeters. Okay, we're at millimeters. Okay, there's ridge. It's even hard to go ridge to ridge because of the way it's designed. So what I did is went from flat to crown. In other words, we're going from here to here. This is the crown. That's the flat. Okay, that's on the flat, and that's on the crown. We'll come up with 78.5. Well, 1/2 millimeter isn't much. 78 might be a little too tight. 80 is definitely too large. 79 is perfect. So you go online. Now some people will buy the 80s because 80 millimeter 15 flat is a very common filter size, but it's not ideal for this filter, and I'll show you. Got on Amazon and found this, or I did a search on 79 millimeter 15 flat. A lot of stuff comes up. Amazon with Prime, I get it in 2 days. It's made in China. It's aluminum. One downside is it's a 1/2-inch hole here instead of 3/8. A lot of us that do it yourself on oil changes, you may not have the ratchet, a 1/2-inch ratchet. A lot of people live and breathe by 3/8 flex ratchets. Well, if that's the case, you just got to get a 3/8 to a 1/2-inch adapter. Put them in there and you're good to go. So, now let's measure this. Okay, we're there. Now we need to go to the dimple. We're on the flat, we go to the dimple. We're coming up 78.5. 78.7. It's even a little tighter than 79, but it's called a 79 millimeter. Now I'm going to show you the fit. You have to have this in your hand to appreciate the fit. Look at that. Let me see if I have one that's close. Let me see if I have an 80. I don't have an 80. Some people are buying the 80s. Most of them are buying the 80s. And it's going to work. The problem is it might slip if you don't get it on good enough. A lot of these filters, they'll have a slight taper to them. This is pretty much straight. Now this one starts off a little bit loose, but as you come on, it gets tighter. And as you go all the way down, which is only about a ½ inch, you have a really good fit. If you do have the 80 millimeter, you might try taking some black electric tape or some kind of tape and just putting some tape on several of the flats just to buy yourself some space. You might actually shrink it enough to work. I was reading on the forums, a lot of guys will do that. But this filter is made for this wrench. This is aluminum, and you can use a hex wrench too. It's a little bigger than an inch. Let's see what it is on metric. 26 millimeter wrench, or a crescent, or a socket. But you don't need that. I'm not too concerned about the hex size because these are very cheap. And now you can use any 3/8 ratchet, flex ratchet, whatever you desire, with an extension. And also, with these filters, there's some talk on the forums about the filters, about the new 35505s, replacing the 35504s. Well, here's Hyundai's Kia's answer to that. Hyundai Kia 26300-35505 is renewed version of 26300-35504 as direct replacement. They're probably identical. There might be a little bit of difference. We'll probably never know what that difference actually is. But it's a new car, it's got good warranty. I'm going to use their filters. That's the bottom line. Okay, we've got our oil filter socket here. 79 millimeter, 15 flats. There it is, fits like a glove.